Hi YouTube, welcome back. So we have one more month of summer left. The transitional back to school phase is already here. All families around the world, parents, kids are going back to their own schools respectively, whether physically or learning remotely online, however they see fit. My mother is still fighting uterine cancer, so thankfully she's still doing that while doing normal tasks in a lighter way. She's in her fourth chemo phase, and as the youngest in the family, I I choose to fight with her together as a family with my big sister, my dad, and a relative. So we're all in this house. We're all here waiting. We're all here waiting for her to fully recover, so my mother can get back on her feet, and then she can hang out with all of us in the family as well as her grandkids. So this talking head piece is basically 3 months since Computex has already passed, and I haven't been keeping up with all things tech, but hopefully with all the video capturing that I have made, I know I have some notes ready, so I do want to share. So hopefully everyone gets a sense of what we can anticipate in the coming months of the tech world. So hopefully this will give you a heightened and sharpened sense of what is to come. So with that said, let's get right into it. So I've decided to look for any video of Computex of 2022 related to see what's going on in their opposite end of the spectrum. So let's check up on what's going on, starting with Asus. The launch event, called For Those Who Dare Boundless, has once again showcased their new laptops. One particular laptop family line has an interesting feature that a consumer can use a flashlight to reveal a decoded message. In addition, Skyrunner, a DLC to ROG Citadel 15, is available to download on Steam for free. For the gamers that have participated in the contest that campaigned up to June 30th, a big congratulations to those who won their respectable prizes. I didn't get a chance to actually play Skyrunner. It's pretty fun, so if you do have the time, make sure to check it out. It will be in the description below, and you'll be able to do your own speed runs from time to time. You'll be able to get some Easter eggs out of it, so if you do get a chance, go ahead and check it out. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on. While falling asleep while drooling third virtual presentation from NVIDIA was not exciting to view, to say the least. The majority of it covered data centers, AI, the Omniverse, and a little bit of gaming, always at the near end of the presentation, with a questionable Asus ROG Swift TN display with a 500 Hz refresh rate made for gamers. There was nothing about the Ada Lovelace architecture, unfortunately, so it was an unexpected disappointment from Team Green. Like, once again, I don't expect a very awe-daunting announcement from NVIDIA. And of course, Lovelace is coming, and we have to hold on to our seats. Don't buy anything from NVIDIA if you are a gamer out there, so hold off on your money. Don't burn your wallet just yet. So 2022 hasn't reached its end yet, so let's go ahead and still wait. You can buy other things, but hold off on a graphics card if you do intend to build a PC. So hang on for any kind of moment that you have currently, and then we can get through what I have seen so far. AMD is known for their stacked announcements, as they did announce their arrival on Computex once again. They have flexed their muscles of success on the 6000 series of laptops, AMD Advantage, the codename Mendocino, and yet another announcement about AM5 and their motherboards coming up. More on that later. So at that time into Computex, AMD has made various announcements on top of every announcement that they're making on that day. So there's only one particular announcement that is in this video that you will see eventually. We'll get through it as I shuffle through all these videos that I have recorded. So hopefully you'll get a sense of what I have seen. For the hardcore PC builder and custom water cooling enthusiast in you, EK showcases 5 PC custom builds with some sensually memeish commentary, themed inspired material, and extreme eye candy aesthetic finishes for these meticulously built rigs. To be honest, EK has impressed me with the whole line of various lineup of like products, and I can't see myself as a custom water cool builder. So my rig only is air cooling. So for those of you who are interested in it, you go ahead and check out that channel. So I'll leave it out there in the description as well. All right, let's go ahead and move on. MSI Gaming had a long live streaming event, yet they knew what AMD was up to as they were anticipating the AM5 launch of Raphael CPUs. After their brief discussion on AMD's Computex event, they were announcing their line of motherboards, both from AMD and Intel. Also, they have showcased a 1000 watt 80 gold power supply MPG A1000G, as well as their MEG series, which allows the end user to swap out local pieces of the power supply to make sure that the orientation is appropriate and just for the build. And the elephant in the room, the MSI RTX 3090 Ti Supreme X Edition was also showcased in the live stream. There were other products shown in the live stream, so feel free to check out the live stream in the video's description. So during the summer, I decided to delve into politics, but I don't want to sink myself in that rabbit hole. But as long as I can get out of that for that one whole day to see what's going on, I think it's for me to say that I'll put a disclaimer somewhere on the screen. This is what I have seen. So whatever I do see, I want to be as unbiased as I can to make sure that you understand what is going on, especially if the moves that our government is making should be in the right direction. The last thing we want to listen to is to have one person twist or manipulate the narrative to their will to make sure to see on their end that it's probably a bad move. But I, for one, concede there is a greater purpose than just distracting us with their conservatism of language and their unproductive way of saying that the United States can't even progress through. So let me get through this what I can share with you. So let's go ahead and go. Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, has sold his 25,000 shares on NVIDIA stock at $165.05 per share. As the transaction was made, Paul lost $341,365 as a result of the filing. These actions show later on the political statement that in spite of the loss, his wife makes an interestingly wild visit to Taiwan, sparking controversy, triggering China to respond in kind, using Chinese military drills around the independent island. The U.S. House Speaker solidifies her unity in relations to Taiwan's president. This action was revealed after her plane landed on Taiwanese soil. After her departure, she did state it was a routine congressional visit committed to Taiwan's democracy. Let's be clear on one thing. Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi's actions have nothing to do on how they decide with their money. There's no reason why any person should haggle them as to what they're up to with the money. Oh, it's illegal. Don't even do this for the sake of trading because it's illegal. Guys, this is not the purpose of what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is the transparency behind these actions that these Pelosi's are making. Given that Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan, there is a real reason why she actually solidified Taiwan's alliance with them. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan has a real reason why this action existed. So why don't we move on and see why this important piece of legislation is crucial to our country. So let's go ahead and see what's going on, why. This tight timing of both Pelosi's is due to the United States legislation, the CHIPS and Science Act, or code HR 4346, which is signed into law as of Tuesday, August 9th, thanks to President Joe Biden. This legislation has a specific section that companies like Micron, Qualcomm, and Global Foundries announces their partnerships and investments totaling a near $50 billion, which these combined additional investments brings the total business investment to $150 billion. For those three companies that have locations in the United States, whether it would be a factory, an office, or a lab, they must consider this an advantageous opportunity to make sure that in a collective effort, the land of the free will finally have a real competition against China, making their own products in American soil. So the CHIPS and Science Act, to me, is a really big move for the United States. Joe Biden is pretty smart on this. So if Joe Biden understands why us Americans want to see why we need to move forward, one part of it is technology. So these companies are actually responding to this act, so we can have quality products made here in the United States rather than like just relying on China's manufacturing or any other product from a different country. So anything that we buy here in the United States is essential so that we don't have to rely on other countries' products. So locally, in a way, we support businesses in the United States. So this is why a real reason this exists. Shout out to Joe Biden for signing this legislation. So good job. So now that we're up to speed on August 30th, at the time of making this video, there is one particular announcement from a whole segment that it's dedicated to this piece. Finally, AMD came full circle with their AM5 announcement of the Ryzen 7000 series. To be clear, AM5 is now on a different platform, transitioning from PGA to LGA, in particular LGA 1718. The improvements, innovations, and solutions of making these products are tiny reasons for various consumers as they showcase their pricing and availability for 4 CPUs. Lastly, Dr. Lisa Su has given a teaser of the upcoming RDNA 3 architecture, remaining to be seen from the time being, apart from a game demo showcased at the end. This strategy may work against the upcoming announcements from NVIDIA and the potential release of the RTX 4090. For more independent media coverage, be sure to check on your subscriptions and their reviews on their Premiere Together We Advance PCs. Yes, definitely. This is thrilling news from AMD, given that they are still in competition with Intel. So it's going to take Intel a long time to respond to how they're going to compete with the Ryzen 7000 series. So even with Raptor Lake's potential announcements in production, there's also Intel's GPU lineup, which still remains to be seen. And we haven't seen much of the product for GPUs from Intel, so we're going to have to wait and see what Intel can deliver to the consumers. So in the meantime, we're going to wrap it up. So if you do intend to build or upgrade your PC, just make sure you actually go on websites like EVGA, Corsair, Sabrent, and other direct websites that you can actually purchase the components from. You don't have to rely on Amazon or Newegg. Just be sure that you are responsible for what you're going to purchase. So for me, I have a spare CPU on hand ready and a spare power supply. One of the main reasons I bought a power supply is a backup. So apart from the anticipation of the Ada Lovelace architecture coming up, it's safe to say that you can get something cheaper if you do come across a deal. I believe you're going to have to buy things one by one to make sure that you don't have to necessarily hoard all of the PC components at once just for the sake of upgrading your PC. Pay attention to every single tech company that you know that you want to study on your own time to make your own decisions on what you want to do as an independent consumer and a journalist if you choose to go that route. Hopefully I kept up with everything before the summer ends. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in a